Okay, what I'm about to say scared me shitless. I couldn't sleep for like a week after the event happened. Just being yanked from my bed. You know what? Okay, hold up. Let me rewind a little bit and give you some backstory. Hey guys, it's your girl Nat here. It is story time. What I'm about to say
is all true.
It happened. Wish it didn't, but it happened. Basically, this past summer in 2019, when we could still go out and play with all the birds and the bees and the trees, and COVID-19 just didn't exist yet, I had a internship in Columbus. So I had to find subleasing really quick because I was an RA. When you're an RA, you just live on campus in the dorms. I got the job. They were kicking us out of the dorms in 2 days, so I just needed to find a house that will take me through August when my apartment lease started. I was scrolling through Facebook. I was asking, all the leasers. English is good. I was asking all the subleasers if they had any rooms that they were willing to rent out to me through the first week of August. So that already narrowed down the pool because most leases end in the end of July and I needed it for another week. What happened was I found this house. I don't know how old it is. Hold on. Let's look it up. Oh, okay. So it was built in 1910 and these Zillow pictures are not right. They're making this place look so much nicer than it actually is. It's all
lies.
The house was built 1910, already had really creepy vibes. The landlord renovated it. I was sleeping on the first floor and I was actually next to the living room. It wasn't a bedroom, so I don't even know if this was legal or not.
Whatever.
When I first arrived, there were graduating seniors. I arrived right as they were graduating. It was the day of graduation, actually. All of them were slowly moving out. They were going out, celebrating, having a party, whatever, and I was just moving in. This one girl, I don't know why she did this to me because then I started thinking about it. This one girl came up to me and she was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't go in the basement. I think it's haunted. Okay, why would you tell me this? She told me that, and then I was thinking about this the entire time. Freaked me out a little bit. I move in, and then as I'm moving in, these seniors who just graduated are slowly moving out. There was this one guy, let's just call him Jack, and me and Jack lived in the house by ourselves, just the two of us. He was on the second floor and I was on the first floor, but the house at night
creaks.
And because nobody was really there.
Jack wasn't really there ever because he and his boyfriend were always hanging out together. I don't know where anyone was.
Me and Jack are just in the house. It was his last night there and he's packing up, moving out. He moved to Texas to go to law school. Woo, hope you're doing well. Now I'm alone in this really big house with 7 bedrooms that was built in 1910. All by myself. And that's when weird shit started happening, like Ghostbusters shit. The first night, I was already kind of spooked a little bit. I hung up some Christmas lights all around the first floor just because it was more light.
Idiot.
Even just being a girl living by yourself in this really big house, I wasn't really concerned about spirits or ghosts in there, but I was more concerned about somebody breaking in. Now, keep in mind, I was kind of locked up in the house for a while because I had to study for the GRE to apply to grad school. So what would happen is I would come home at 5, I would make dinner, and then I would kind of just study through the night until I had to wake up and go to work again. It was a really intense summer of just studying. I would run and I would work. That was it. That was my whole summer of 2019.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
I started noticing some weird sounds, especially when it got dark at night, and I think I was just paranoid. Then it kind of escalated. I would hear noises, the floorboards creaking. Once or twice, I heard a door slam. And that scared me shitless. I mean, I thought it was the wind, but obviously there were no windows open. Another thing I noticed that I would see fingerprint marks all over the walls. They still were popping up after everyone moved out. Pretty big hand marks. So after I heard a couple of the doors slam, I would call my parents, I would call my friends, just being like, hi, like, this place is kind of creepy. My friends would come over, kind of entertain me, just to have another body in the house. But as soon as they left, like, more shit started happening. And then everything changed
when the Fire Nation attacked.
So I don't really know what I believe what happens after you die. However, I think that some spirits get lost. There's definitely certain energies and vibes there, which I personally believe in. Second week of me living in the house alone, I had 3 more weeks to live there before I moved into my new place. I was having almost like a night terror. It was this very vivid nightmare. I felt something around my ankles and I didn't even think much of it. I just thought it was my blanket, no biggie. And I slept always with my door locked. This is important for the story later. What happened was I was having this dream that I was being dragged out of my bed, being held by my ankles. I'm like flailing my arms in this dream. I'm screaming like, get out, please leave me alone. Just being yanked from my bed. There's nothing more upsetting than that to me. Like, I thought this was just an awful dream. You know when you have those really intense nightmares and you wake up crying? Well, I woke up crying
on the floor.
Somebody did drag me out of bed. So freaking freaked. It was unbelievable.
I was shaking, my whole body was shaking, my core was shaking.
I was crying. I was so like anxious and nervous and I had no idea what was going on. I looked down at my ankles and I saw bruises, not laceration. Somebody tied a rope around my ankles and like pulled it really tight. It was like five bruise marks on each of my ankles. Somebody grabbed me and yanked me
Hard.
I was so afraid. I bolted. I turned on my lights. It was
4 o'clock in the morning.
I called my friend. I went to my car and I slept in my car for like 3 days. So after I saw the bruise marks on my ankles, I took a photograph and I sent them to my friend. So months later, I was telling this story around Christmas time, just when I was seeing family, like, oh, what's the craziest thing that happened to you so far? Obviously, I lived in a haunted house for 3 months. What's crazier than that? I went to go through my phone and the photos, it's gone. No clue what happened to that photograph. Was this all a dream? I don't think so, because I clearly remember sleeping in my car and I clearly remember like seeing the bruise marks on my ankles, and I clearly remember like being dragged out of my bed and how traumatized I was. I was reading online like, what should you do? Some websites were telling me like you need to burn sage to like help the aroma in the air.
Idiot.
I don't know. And then another website was just saying, just talk to them. The next day, I would talk to them and, hi, sorry if I
Upset you.
or did something to upset you. I'm gonna be here for only 3 more weeks and then I'll be out of your hair.
I promise.
You know, I never killed anyone. I tried to be a really good person. Please let me know if there's anything I can do. Then when I would come home after work, I would talk to whoever was in the house. I don't know if that makes me a crazy person or not, but I was not bothered again, so I'm assuming it worked. So what I would do, I would come home from work and I would talk to whoever was living in the house with me. Listen, hey, like, you know, my name's Nat. I hope you're doing well. This is my day. Yeah, so that is my haunted house story. I was so happy to move out of that house that was built in 1910. If you yourself have any haunted house stories, I would love to hear them. I'm sure this is a pretty mild case compared to other people, but I just thought it was an interesting story to share. We all could use some entertainment in these quarantine times. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. I am a new YouTuber. I figured what else to do than to try and really kickstart this YouTube channel up a little bit. All right, well, that's all I have for you today. Until next time, love you guys.